What's up, y'all? This is Ed Glizzy, this Barberson TV, and this DMV most dangerous game. This one's gonna be crazy. I can't even make this up. So I seen a YouTube video. There was like some Crips got locked up. One of them ended up getting life. So I just checked into the story. So it's some Crips. They from LA. They Chinese or Asian. No, they Asian. I take that back. They Asian. They from VA, they from Richmond, and they be in Fairfax. But I'm gonna tell y'all the story, hold on. Let me get my phone. So, I seen a report that some agents, it's a most dangerous gang in the DMV. It was some Asians, I'm like, some Asians. Then they started a gang, so I started doing my research. I do my research into them. So this how it happened. This how it all started. They originated in Los Angeles. They had family in Los Angeles. But they had ties to the DMV, to Virginia. So they used to come and visit their families in Virginia, and they like, man, the same thing we do in California, we can come take over Virginia. They just used to go to VA on the holidays and see their family. So they like, man, we could take over Virginia. So they go back to California and recruit some other guys. They tell the gang, like, we want to start to expand the gang, start our brand in Virginia. So the leader of it, the owner, he agreed to it. So then they came to Virginia. So now they in Virginia. They started the Virginia gang. The name of the gang called TRG and ADF, Asian Dragon Family. But it was just the Asian Dragon Family that came to Virginia. Then when they came to Virginia, they needed more power and they wanted to expand bigger, so they linked up with another gang. The other gang they linked up with was TRG. When they linked up with TRG, now there's the Asian Dragon Family and it's TRG. Now there's two gangs, they together. Now they all in Virginia. So now their object is to take over Virginia. They taking over Virginia. They linked up. They two Asian gangs. They getting money. They ain't no killing or no violence going on, so they under the radar. This started in 2011. They started this gang in 2011 in Virginia. They got away with it all the way to about 2000, just say 14 when they got hot. They ain't get locked up. Like, the gang extended off to some other people, and I'm explaining how they got locked up. So like 2014, they've been doing good. Just say they had like a 3-4 year run under the radar. No police activity, no police attention, no nothing. It went on from 2012 to like 2015. 14, and they was under the radar. They was just getting money. Like, they wasn't on it wasn't no murders, it wasn't no violence in it. They was just doing get money schemes. Like, they put their money together, they was getting work, put it together. So in the midst of that, they had went and bought some, they Asian, so somebody tried to get over them, they went and bought some work. Like, this their first time buying some work. So they went to go get $11,000 worth of work from somebody. And they like, man, these Asian boys, so they thought they was green, thought they was sweet. So they put some grass, they gave them like $11,000 worth of grass. They put grass in the book bag, so the Asian boys took it home and they looked in the book bag and they realized that it was grass. So that was their first beef. They started a beef. So now they beefing with the guys who finessed them. They ain't into guns and stuff yet. They go back to their house throwing baseballs through their window, hitting their house with bats and all that. Long story short, so they beefing with these other guys now that finessed them out of the way. So it's going on and on, back and forth. So some years went past, but they wasn't doing it, they wasn't violent. They got some new members. 3 other guys came from Los Angeles that was all, but they was already in the gang. Like, when they came from Los Angeles, they was already a part of the Dragon family already, but they ventured off and started doing their own thing. They formed their own gang, like 3 people that go hard. The 3 go hard ones said, man, we're going to make up our own little side gang. We're going to do the killing and all that. We're going to run our own gang. So they made their own gang. So now they still the same gang, but they just on killing time. They left all the throwing baseballs at the house. They ain't on that no more. So it's this big guy, the head guy that raked them all in. Like, man, we're gonna start our own game. We're gonna be killers. We're gonna just set the tone. They gonna get money. They gonna kill. They just gonna do whatever. They gonna live life however they want to. They about to just start killing people, doing whatever they want to do. So the guy got two other guys to agree. A guy named Trigger and two other guys. He got them to agree. So now there's 4 of them. So now they killing. So now it's like 2000. Just say 14. From 2014, they formed a new gang. It's like they came from California to Virginia. They formed a gang that was doing good. They was peaceful. There was 2 peaceful people in the gang before the game, and they wanted to be another gang. They wanted to be a little bit gangster. So now they got the gangster going on. So now I told y'all they had started the beef when they was with the inside the gang. They first came here. They was in the beef with the guy who finessed them for the 11,000. They remember that. So boom, they catch up to him. This years later. I told you it happened in 2012, but now they outside of the game. They doing their own thing. Now they killing. They about to set the tone. Nobody gonna play with them now. It's some years later. One of them go catch the guy. They get up on the guy who finessed them. They follow him at a gas station, kidnap him, throw him in the car, take him to some woods. They take him in the woods and try to find the river, but they couldn't find the river. So they couldn't find the river. Trigger, it's one named Trigger. Trigger ended up smoking him. Boom. Trigger smoke him. They leave the body right there and all the evidence. They leave the body right there and the evidence. They try to stash it best they can. But in the midst of that, just say like from 2015 when they start beefing, they start doing stuff. They was doing so much stuff in between. Like I'm talking about, like they was robbing, they was already killing, they was already just doing ruthless stuff. This right here was like after 100 things that they already did, but this was the most highlighted thing that put the police on their line. Like the FBI got involved. Once they killed the guy in the woods, the FBI got involved and started investigating them because they was already under investigation. Because they was already doing so much in Virginia that they was already under investigation. So when they was under investigation, the last thing they was going to do was going to kill Holmes, and they was going to go back to their hometowns where they came from and just play low key. That was the plan. So boom, they end up killing Holmes. They did all their dirt, get all their money, end up killing Holmes. After they kill him, they go back to their hometowns for 18 days. They all spent 18 days somewhere. They ain't contact each other or nothing. One went back to Dallas. One went to wherever he went, and the other ones, they went all the way back to their hometown. They all separate states from each other. They ain't called each other for 18 or 20 days, no contact. So the one that started the game, the one that was like, man, I feel like we go harder than them. We need to start our own game. When they left out their gang and started becoming killers and gangsters, he called them like, man, I think we need to cover the evidence up a little bit more. So long story short, they all meet each other to go cover the evidence up some more. So they get the evidence, the body, they redid the body up, trying to take it to find the river, to throw everything in the river. They still couldn't find the river. But I told you they was under investigation because they had did so much before they end up killing the guy. They had did so much they was already had police attention on them. So then they couldn't even find the river again, so they just buried them and hid everything best as they can. Then they all went back. They just were going to leave it alone. I guess they was so high and had so much pressure on them, they all moved back to their states where they was from and was trying to get away from it. But as they was trying to get away from it, the FBI was already on their line and they killed the last guy. And the guy Trigger had killed so many people and did so much before that. The police already wanted them on the street. So long story short, now they all in separate states. Now they ain't hang with each other. They ain't killing no more. They ain't in no gang no more. Nothing. They trying to live their life on. This all the way fast forward to 2022. This all the way 2022. They get locked up. Now they all locked up. As they locked up, now they in jail. So they all in jail. Police got them. FBI got them. Ain't nobody stand nothing. Like they standing tall. They real life gangsters, y'all. They stand on this. All the killing they did and all that. They all in Virginia. Nobody knew about them till now when they got locked up. Like nobody knew they was going this hard in Virginia. Some Asians. Shout out to the Asians. Hong Yong Song Song he him. You hear me? So Trigger, his other 3 men, and the guy who started the gang. You remember I told y'all they came here from California. And then they moved their gang to Virginia. They built a gang inside a gang. The gang inside the gang was the Killer Ones. The Killer Ones was the gang inside the gang. They built their own gang. But the guy who created the Killer Ones, the gang inside the gang, they all locked up. Everybody quiet. The guy who recruited all the Killer Ones, just say we in the gang and we know we go hard. We gonna lead this gang, all the ones that go hard, and we just about to go straight killing. The guy who recruited them, the ones that out the game, all the killers to go straight killing on killer time and start their own killer gang, everybody was quiet except for him. He recruited them like, we gotta lead this game. We go too hard. We gotta go be killer. He recruited them. So everybody quiet. They about to get out of jail because the police can't prove, the FBI can't prove they did none of this. Just all allegedly. They been clean. They ain't got no evidence or nothing. If they all be quiet, they gonna walk. The guy who recruited them got a deal. The first one get a deal. The guy who recruited them ended up telling them they big homie, they CEO who recruited them, Killer Gang CEO, we gonna call them Killer Gang, the ones who took the gangster ones out the game, the one who recruited them, he ended up telling on them. Long story short, let me check, I see how much time he got. He ended up telling, and he got 16 years. One of them got 30, one got 25, one got 20. And don't y'all know Trigger, the one I said that was killing everybody? He was a super dude. His name Trigger. Imagine being in a gang of all killers and your name is Trigger. Like, you the super duper turned up one. Being turned up don't mean nothing in this story. He got 6 life sentences, man. I said this was crazy. Like, they migrated from California, came to Virginia. First of all, they did this in Virginia, Commonwealth law. Like, shout out to the Asians, the Migos. Y'all doing y'all thing. The most dangerous guys in the DMV was Asians, and I say this because the stories of what they did and the robberies and the people they killed walking in, you could never bother, son.